What's up? What's happening? My name is Ross. I talk about personal finance and economic news from a single guy's perspective. Today, I want to talk about child support. Should you, if you are an unmarried father, put yourself on child support? And to me, the answer is an absolutely resounding yes. Oh, edit. Stop the video. Stop the video. Hold up. I had to come back and make an edit to this because I rewatched it. I was editing video and I realized I missed a huge step here. Do not start with child support. You must establish paternity first. You have to get a DNA test first. Before any of this goes down, before you're signing any paperwork, you must get a DNA test. I'm assuming that you've got paternity established. You must get a DNA test. If you do not have a DNA test, if you do not have paternity established scientifically, stop what you're doing. Do not do not do anything else until you have established DNA. And I don't care what the woman says. I don't care the look-alike test. I don't care. You have no idea. If the woman was out of your sight for more than 6 minutes, that could be somebody else's child. Do not do any of this. Do not do anything without having DNA. Especially don't give her any money. Don't sign any documentation. Do not do anything until you are starting from a base of fact. And that is scientific fact. Not fact from her mouth or fact because you know her and she's so trustworthy. I mean fact from science, because when they're taking your money, they're going to take real dollars. They ain't going to care what happened. And if you get on the hook for a child that's not yours, they are not going to care. So you must start from a place of facts. And you can only do that if you get the DNA test. So get a DNA test. Once paternity is established, then we can continue on with the video. Yes, you should. And I'm going to go into 3 reasons why and kind of give some, examples. Granted, they are examples of the extreme side, but examples nonetheless. So let's get right into it. The first reason that you should put yourself on child support is autonomy. Autonomy. And but what I mean by autonomy is the freedom for you to move how you want to move, to create your own destiny. You see, when you have a child and that child is not on child support, the mother of that child always has a claim in her back pocket, and it's a guaranteed claim. Pretty much, she's gonna win if she takes that claim up against your earnings, your present earnings, and your future earnings. And at any time and point, she can use that as she sees fit, right? So you're really, if you don't have child support in place, and I mean proper through the state, through the county child support, you're really relying on the mother of the child's, her mentality or her mood or whatever the case is. You're relying on her goodwill not to take you and put you on child support. And she can do that at any point in time. She doesn't need a reason. She doesn't need a rhyme. You guys have an argument. She's down on her luck as far as money's concerned. Whatever the case is, at any point in time, she can go back and get that child support. So it's you want to take that out of her hands and put it in your own. And the only way you do that is you go and you put yourself directly on child support. That way, you know what it is, you know what you got to pay, and you can do that, right? So we talk about my guy 50 Cent. If you've been watching social media, 50 Cent and his son Marquise, they're having this little blow up or whatever. But I found the case interesting because 50 actually was the one that took himself back for child support. So I just get it out of this. This is from 2007, so this is quite some time ago. Rapper 50 Cent's niece, Curtis Jackson, is reportedly taking his 9-year-old son Marquise's mother to court, but not to get out taking care of his child. In fact, the star, who is said to adamantly provide for his son, wants to ensure that he can continue to do so without any outrageous demands from the boy's mother, Shaniqua Tompkins. It was just getting so out of hand. It was driven by greed. He felt it was necessary to get a court order making clear just what his responsibility is. He took matters into his own hands. It's usually the woman who files, but he wants to do the right thing. So this is his lawyer talking right here. 50 has always provided for his kid. His son's mother is now making unreasonable demands, which seems to have no limit. The couple, who lived together for 4 years, never had a legal settlement drawn up concerning financial support for their son following their breakup 5 years ago. So that's important. They didn't have a case in place, nothing formal. 50 was just giving the mother money. However, according to a 50 pal, reportedly bought Shaniqua and Marquise a house in upscale Long Island town so Marquise could be in a good school district. He's paying a lot of child support. He takes Marquise on vacations. He just took him to LA where he saw Eminem together. He met Justin Timberlake and Timberland in Miami. Remember, this is 2007. He took him to the NBA All-Star game in Vegas. He sees his son very frequently. When he's on the road, he brings him out. Shaniqua has hired mega lawyer Raul Felder and is rumored to be seeking palimony. Palimony, and I'm not sure how. I don't think they were ever even married, but she's seeking more palimony. So I found another article. I just wanted to confirm because I had heard this. And this is Fox News. Again, this is 2007. 50 Cent in court fight over Megabucks child support demands. The $25,000 a month in child support and household expenses that rapper 50 Cent pays to the mother of his 10-year-old son is not enough, says the boy's mother, Shaniqua Tompkins. $25,000 a month. That's $300K a year. The rapper's worth tens and tens of millions of dollars, said her attorney, Raul Felder. The parents of young Marquise Jackson are wrangling over issues in family court in his Long Island community where 50 Cent arrived Friday in an armored SUV equipped with a satellite dish. 50. And I only highlight that point to understand that 50 is a smart man, and he took himself back to court because he was giving her $25,000 a month. Not on paperwork. That was not a good idea. She was making more and more demands. And he said, look, fine, I'm going to go get it in writing what I have to pay. And the outcome of that was she went from $25,000 a month to $6,700 a month. Now, $6,700 a month is still a lot in child support, but I can only imagine how you feeling if you was getting 25, you getting $300K a year, and now it's down to like, what, 80, 85K a year, something like that. And it's still a lot of money, but you know, it goes to show that 50 had this situation where he was trying to do it on his own. She was making more and more demands, and he said, okay, we're going to go through the court. So again, you want to hold your autonomy. He didn't want her having that card over his head, so he went on to court and settled it with the child support people. And I think that's what any unmarried man should do, whether you have a lot of money or not. Now, if you can't afford the child support, you're going to have to fix your income. There's no sense in avoiding it. You might as well go down there and get it on paper. Reason number two, stability. The reason I say stability is because just like 50 Cent has a problem with his child's mother was trying to change things and change the rules. When you get your child support in writing through the county, you have stability. That means you know exactly how much it will be, and there's no surprises. If you don't pay child support through the county and the mother decides to take you to court, in most states, I know this is a state in my state of Ohio, she can not only take you for child support, she can take you for up to 5 years or some time back. Usually it's about 5 years, or the length or the age of the child back. So let's just say you guys have a setup where you're just giving her money like 50 Cent was. Well, at any point in time, she can say, well, you know, I don't like that. And she can take you back for child support. And not only will she get child support going forward, but she's going to get child support going backwards. And it doesn't matter if you can prove you're paying for that child or not. In most states, I think all states, but definitely most states, that whatever you gave her is a gift. It doesn't matter whether you're living with her. It doesn't matter whether you're apart. If you gave her money, anything to support the household, all that is considered a gift. They will not consider that in your child support. So anything you're giving her outside of a documented child support case through the state is a gift. You can always get hit for back child support. So that's why I say stability. You can't really plan your financial future, your personal finances, if you never know that you might be getting hit for child support this month. And oh, by the way, you may be getting hit for back child support that you've already done outside of the system. I want to play about a minute-long clip from Eddie Curry. Eddie Curry was an NBA player. Hope I don't get a copyright.
My son, a couple months before my son turned 18. Now, I've been asking her, like, me and him have been asking her for years, like, man, just let me get my son, man. He's acting out in school. Let him come with me. I'll still give you child support. Just let him come to me. She wouldn't let him come to me. A few months before he turned 18, right before his senior year, out of nowhere, I get a call like, Dad, she kicking me out. I'm like, huh? Kicked him out. She finally lets him come live with us. He goes, he attends his senior year out here. A couple months later, not even a month later, I'm getting served with papers for back child support because I never went in and modified my child support from $16,000. And I had been giving her money the whole time. I would just give her cash. I would send it to her account, but I wasn't paying it through the state. Like whenever, so they basically went in.
I just want to play that again. He said I wasn't paying it through the state. He was giving her bank, but he wasn't paying through the state.
Time, I would just give her cash. I would send it to her account. But I wasn't paying it through the state. Like whenever, so they basically went in and said, all right, well, you didn't pay the state of Illinois. So basically you didn't give her nothing. And I'm telling the judge, like, look, I got documents. These are receipts from cashier's checks. This is over $1 million I've given this girl. They're like, no, that was a gift. If you didn't give it to the state of Illinois, that was a gift. I'm like, are you serious?
Wow.
Yeah, bro. So
it's pretty much like that in any state. What you give them outside of the child support is a gift. It doesn't matter. The man said she was going for back child support, and the kid was already 18 at the point. He pointed out because the son had finally come and stay with him, so he thought he was free and clear. No, because he didn't change it. He didn't modify whatever child support, and he's giving her money outside of the system. So she went and tried to get back child support. And he mentions later in the interview that she's also going after his pension now. So again, if you're not paying it through the state, you leave yourself open to someone saying, hey, I want back child support. So now he's in a position where he's going to pay double. He already paid for this child support, and he thought he was doing what's right, but he didn't do it through the state. So guess what? She's probably going to win this case, or she did. It sounds like already won this case because the judge is saying, well, that's a gift. Oh, well. So this is what I mean about stability and you being able to plan your finances and you not getting hit with double whammies of, oh, there's back child support because you didn't pay through the proper channels. Go get on your child support, right? And especially, listen, I've paid a lot in child support in my lifetime. I understand it's difficult. I understand it's hard, but if you don't get it taken care of, if you don't get it through the county and then pay what you're supposed to pay, it's only going to get worse for you. It's only going to build up, right? So this guy here, his kid is grown and he's still fighting these cases because he didn't have his child support in place. So again, yes, if you are an unmarried father, it is in your best interest. It is in your best interest of your financial future, of your autonomy, of your stability to go put yourself on child support. If she hasn't already done it for you, go put yourself on child support. So number 3, the third thing I want to talk about, and this is going to be real quick because this video is already longer than I want it to be, it is legitimacy. When you pay your child support, you're going to get your autonomy back, you're going to get your stability, right? But you're also going to get legitimacy. And I'll just bring up the case of 50 Cent again. He went back to court way back in 2007, and this all blows up all these years later. Was it 15, 16 years later? It all blows up. But 50 Cent has a paper trail of legitimacy. So even though his son and his son's mother are saying that he's a deadbeat or he's not paying enough, he's got records, court records showing exactly what he paid for all those times. So nobody can really say anything. It's irrefutable. He's paid what the law has told him to pay. So people can have an opinion about it, but at the end of the day, it's all legal and legitimate, right? So 50 comes out of this with he comes out of this little spat with everybody knowing that he paid child support, and it was that there were no shortcuts, there were no switcheroos or scams. It was all through the state, right? So he gains what I'm calling legitimacy, if that's the case. You can't really ruin his reputation so much because he's paid for it. It's all public record. It's all out there, right? So he can provide legal documentation. He can provide audit trails, or whoever wants it or needs it to anybody if he so chooses to. But my point is, he's with the child support, he's bought himself legitimacy. You can't say that he didn't pay what he was supposed to pay, and that's what it'll get you, legitimacy. If you're going through child support and maybe your child's mother are dragging your name through the mud or whatever the case is, or people think you're a deadbeat, but they can't really say that if you've got the child support in place and you've paid what you owed, right? At that point, you're legitimate. So they can not like it, but they can't do anything about it. Okay, that's enough for today. Once again, my name is Ross. I talk about personal finance and economic news from a single guy's perspective. If you made it this far, consider giving me a like or subscribe. Peace.